It's working towards it. Wow. Hey, everybody. Thanks for coming. We got on here a little bit late. It's my fault because I'm kind of running the show, but I'm not running the show, so I'm depending on everybody else to help me get through this. So what we're planning on doing today is personal readings, and if you could just put your readings in all caps, and we will star them, and we will get to them. But so far, we only have 9 people on here, and I don't see any questions. I don't see any readings happening.
Well, give them a chance. Give them a chance. They'll get it in there.
Yeah, people are.
Well, of course. So, what is happening, Colleen, astrologically right now that we need to know about?
Okay, so we are on the verge of pretty much a big grand cross, which is a whole bunch of stuff 180 degrees across from each other in the sky, and then another bunch at 90 degrees to that, which usually means that things are very challenging, especially because this is in the cardinal sign, which means that something's starting. So it's kind of my feeling that something's going to happen. Something around this full moon is going to happen. And then the next few days after the full moon, things are going to continue to happen. It involves Mars and Pluto, which is not a good combo. Does not make me happy that that's it. And the full moon, which is the sun and the moon. But the moon is close to Chiron, which is good, means that there's a potential for healing, but also a potential for wounding, for people wounding each other, literally. So that's not bueno. No bueno there. The sun is next to Juno, which means that there will be somebody will, or some group or something will make a big commitment to something. So let's hope they're not making a commitment to hurt people. That would be bad. But let's hope that they're making a commitment to heal people. Mars and Pluto are in Cancer and Capricorn. So those are both signs that like to hang on to things. But Mars is aggression and Pluto is nuclear destruction. But also, let me state the positive. Transformation, upheaval, rooting out weakness and corruption and eliminating it. But yeah, we have a couple of weeks that are going to be, or this week in the next maybe 10 days, I think it's going to be kind of difficult. And so you should be kind to one another and look out for one another. The full moon between in Aries and Libra usually speaks to relationships. So it's a great time for you to know where your boundary is and where the other person's boundary is and stand in that, but also to be compassionate and to help people. And the same with Mars in Cancer. Cancer is a nurturing, loving sign. And Capricorn is a sign that really speaks to legacy. So Capricorn doesn't want to see things be destroyed that shouldn't be destroyed. And Cancer wants to see, people nurtured, held together, women and children protected, that kind of stuff. So there's really positive things in there. It's just that the energies of the planets are poised for difficult and challenging situations. Sorry. You want me to go now? Or
well,
it's not your fault.
Good. Thank you.
I feel like it is.
Thank you for the bad news. And
yeah, sorry.
Now moving right along.
Moving on a happier note.
Yeah, on a happier note, we're going to be doing personal readings here, and we've got a couple people starred, and it's going to be 2 people to a reading, unless somebody feels compelled to discuss whatever. If it's not your team effort right there, then you can go ahead and speak up about it. So it'd be Gerald and Colleen and Allyson and me. And I'm Cleo the Seer, and I'm trying to host this, and it's a new experience for me. So just watch how many different ways I can screw it up.
You're doing fine. You're doing great.
So the first question is from Maureen and Miko.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you right now, I'm horrible with names, so that should be fun too. So Maureen, if I screwed that up, I'm sorry. And she asks, how will my next 2 weeks go? So Gerald and Colleen, can you help her with that?
I will do my best.
What sign are you, Maureen? And do you know your rising sign?
What's going to be our question? I need to know who it is and what the question is, please.
Allyson, we're going to be talking to Chris Cassidy, and the question is, what is the best method for me to connect to spirit, my guides, etc.?
Thank you. Is it Chris with a K or CH?
Chris with a C.
Thank you.
Okay, let's not all speak at once.
Well, I think this is the next 2 weeks for you. You've got, there's going to be choices that have to be made. I have the 2 of Swords for you. And some of these, this 2 of Swords, Maureen, you're going to be knocking horns, so to speak. So in the next 2 weeks, there's going to be this exchange. You're going to be having to make some choices. And I have a 4 of Cups for you, which does suggest that you will be, you'll be seeing the things that are not good. That you'll be seeing the negative things. You'll be pushing things. The disappointments will be occupying your time. Now, at the end of that 2 weeks, I have the Empress for you, which is, okay, now let's take all of this stuff and let's move on, because the Empress is able to make things work through, and she's able to get people to work together quite nicely. So I think this is going to be something, especially when you have some conflict at the beginning of the 2 weeks, is what I have for you, Maureen. So
okay. So Maureen, I'm doing playing cards, and so my reading is going to be a little bit different. So what I see is at work there's going to be a lot of talking, and you're one of the light-haired queens. There's going to be another woman who is very social, wants to talk a lot. She might be gossiping, but then again, she might be inviting people to a party, maybe a holiday party or a Halloween party or something like that. And there's going to be more chitter chatter, more gossip, but there's going to be a man at your work that gets sick, not horribly sick, but he's going to come down with something. And there's also going to be somebody's thinking about trying to get a promotion, a raise, something like that. And what'll happen, I think this is a woman, a dark-haired woman at your job. And I think she ends up, instead of getting the raise, I think she ends up getting a new job. So if that's one of your friends, then she's going to be moving on. And the final thing that I have is that generally things are going to be going really, really well. I see that somebody, not you, but somebody at your job is planning a nice trip. You're going to be hearing about that. And since this really didn't give you a lot of information about you, let me throw a few more cards out here. Ooh, money.
She said she doesn't work.
You don't work. You're going to be getting some money. There's some money that's coming for you. but also some some news about somebody, a woman that you know that is either white haired or has black hair, and she's having a tough time. So you're going to be hearing about that. Well, if you don't work, then these would be people in your neighborhood, in your book club, in your, you know, wherever you do have interaction with these people. That's what you would be getting. Okay, so that's what I got.
Okay. Good. Okay, so Gerald, how do I put people back in order? Right now, I've got you at the top left.
You click on yourself and drag you to the left.
Okay, I kind of thought that was going to happen.
And Allyson is trying to get back in.
Okay. Actually, I'm not able to drag anywhere.
You want me to do it?
Yeah. Okay, so all you clicked on what? The picture?
I clicked on your picture at the top in the screen, and then drag
at
you
the
where
top.
you are. Yeah.
Oh, well, that makes it so much easier. Okay. So the next question we have, and I'm waiting for, and by the way, Maureen, I hope that reading helped.
Said interesting. Thanks, Gerald, and cool crone.
Yes, thank you guys. You did great. So now I can remove this.
Yeah.
And go to Chris Cassidy. And I know that Allyson was preparing for the reading for Chris. Let's see, is Chris here?
Do you want to click on Chris's thing on the starred comments?
Yeah, hold on. There we go. God, I feel so pathetic.
Oh, Colleen. Maureen said, going to the casino tomorrow. Hope that I will get lucky.
Yeah, me too.
And Chris is here.
Okay. You know what, Chris? I'm just going to go ahead. I got some really nice cards for you. If you have been going through some healing, this is not necessarily physical, but it might be. That whatever you've been doing, if you've been trying to overcome something or moving into something new, and that maybe you haven't been feeling right about it, it's going to change. Things will be feeling a lot better, and you're going into something called a fresh start, and it requires you to believe in yourself. And this fresh start is really nice because it gives you an opportunity to begin again on something that maybe you were working on again or not. I mean, this could be, I'll just leave it at that. It could be a whole bunch of things. But in the process of doing all this, the fresh start is you're just going to soar. You're going to have great luck. And, you know, and that is not answering the question about how to connect to spirit. Let me go back to the healing one. You know, because spirit is with you all the time. I did the wrong reading, Chris. I'm going to start again because that's, you know, I went to something else. I wondered why it wasn't fitting together quite right.
And Chris said, fresh start is exactly what I need and want now. So
okay, well that is what is happening, but your connection to spirit is you know, actually really good. They're right there with you all the time. So, and they're the ones that were telling me about the fresh start and the healing, and to definitely to believe in yourself, because you know, I got a feeling you do believe in yourself. But through spirit and your guides, you're just going to soar. Something really nice is going on, and that's where the fresh start is. And whatever that is for you, whatever that means to you, you are definitely on the right track, and your guides are with you all the time, and they're trying to help you with this. But and I don't see any obstacles there. I don't see anything that would stop this from occurring, because Yeah, it's I've got healing, fresh start, and believing. And when it comes to spirit, that really fits because that's where you're going with this. So your guides are with you. You're going to experience stuff that you're like, wow, I've been waiting for this to happen. And that's the fresh start. And keep believing in yourself and be ready to soar into something new and really nice, really a good spiritual energy. I think you're going to start feeling some more spiritual energy because whatever you're doing, you're on the right path. Now, that got a little bit screwy. I hope it all made sense. But that's what I have for you. And if Allyson manages to get back on, I will come back to her and come back to your question so that she could read on it as well, because she might get something totally different. So anyway, that is what we got going on for you.
Can I add a little something for Chris?
Sure, go ahead.
So when you do get your fresh start, Chris, and you start trying to connect, this may seem really obvious, but it's very, very effective. Whatever kind of contemplation or meditation that you're doing, start with breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. And if you can do that a couple of times and feel like normal about that, then breathe in and hold it for a few beats. And then as you let it out your mouth, let it take a longer amount of time than what you held your breath. So you'd breathe in for like 4, hold it for 3 or 4 counts, and then like breathe out, try to make it last like 8 counts. And it doesn't have to be really slow. I mean, don't, asphyxiate yourself, but this breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth and going slow and holding the breath at the top of the breath is an indication to your body to really relax. It's a physical indicator to your body that you're going to relax now. And when you do that relaxation, it's amazing how spirit can come in, because you're really allowing your body to just be centered and kind of get in touch with itself. And that for me really helped when I was trying to learn how to connect with my guides. So I just wanted to pass that on.
Well, thank you, Colleen. That was great.
And I've been working with Allyson. StreamYard is giving her a hard time, so I've sent her the link again. So we'll see if she can get through that. So
okay, great.
But yeah. So this would be a good time to remind everybody to like and subscribe to all of the channels.
Mm-hmm.
They are linked below. And we do appreciate that. And make sure that you are checking your subscriptions, because YouTube has been doing some things. So, and Chris said, thanks, Colleen. I was thinking of focusing on breath and pranayama.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but yeah, so that's great.
Okay, so I for the next question, Star Midnight had asked a question, but then they also came back out and said, "Don't do that question." So we won't do that right now.
Okay.
But I have a question from Anja Ashdown. Do I have any connection to the
Hathors?
And I'm giving that to Gerald and Colleen because I don't know what Hathors means. Apparently, Colleen, you do.
Well, I have a loose understanding of what they are.
Okay.
I know who Hathor is, and
Mhm.
I think that there are some deities that are sort of collectively known as the Hathors.
Okay.
That sort of came after her or something. I don't know.
So Andrew wants to know if she has a connection to them, or he. Aries girl is trying to get on here, but it's not really happening.
Okay, I don't need cards for this. Anya, yes, of course you have connection to the Hathors. If you're thinking this question, then you absolutely do. So what I would suggest doing is Now Hathor, just the Hathor, is about women. It's about motherhood, joy, pleasure, all the good stuff about girls. That's what the Hathors are about, or Hathor is about. And I'm hoping that I'm thinking about the same thing. So, what you might be tapping into is a need to get really in touch with your feminine. And the best way I know to do that is to get in touch with your sacral chakra. That's the second chakra, the one that's orange. And anything that you can do to expand your sacral chakra, to open it up, to feel it, to focus on it, and then to give yourself all that is best in women. Just imagine what that is and just give yourself all of that.
Okay.
And in your meditations, again, just, focus on not necessarily only the color orange, but focus on femininity, the divine feminine, the womb, all of that stuff. That's going to help.
Okay, so we're going to have Gerald add to this, but before I do that, Allyson, just as you left, we had a question from somebody. Were you already working on a response for that? Oh, we can't hear
I
you.
had already pulled for Chris, and the answer to her question was working with her ancestors, and it was very plain in my cards. So that would be my suggestion, especially during this time. Not that that's earth shaking. A lot of people do that, but it's here in my cards, plain as day, several different cards. But yeah, working with your ancestors. I mean, there might be other approaches as well. And I love this in this card. You see all these figures in the background, these people. This is the moonflower vine. But yeah, that's what I got. And
Okay.
then everything went to hell in a handbasket, but I'm back. So
Okay, and I'm going to have Gerald continue on with the reading that we're doing right now, and then Allyson. After that, we've got a reading for Cheryl, who says, "Who do you see for me in November? Thanks."
What do you see? What do you see for me?
What do you see for? Excuse me. What do you see for me in November? Thanks.
thank you. And is that Cheryl, like traditional spelling?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I always use the
There
name.
it is. I just
Got
put
it.
it up
Thank
there
you.
so you can see it.
Thank
So,
you.
Anja, the short answer is ditto to what Colleen said. A little bit more information is the connection with it is really a mastery of your physical environment and the ancestry and some of the traditions. Because I have the King of Pentacles, and this is someone who is really strong about the heritage and the traditions and understanding that. And then I absolutely love the other part of the connection is you really are paying attention to justice and the things that are important. And as Colleen said, pay attention to all of the powerful things of the women. I think that's extremely, extremely important. What I'm also feeling is there's this sense of don't get tired with the heavy work that's going on. Instead, support others, and so that others can support each other, lift others. So it's very much it's a communal feel for what I'm feeling. So that's what I have for you, Anja.
Okay, great. I think you and Colleen covered it very well. So, getting back to this one. And I hope that Anja could connect with that, with what you guys told her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she did.
So Cheryl asks, what do you see for me in November? And do you have something yet, Allyson, or do you want me to go? Okay.
Gerald, just from the cards that I pulled here, it looks like this is probably related to some sort of a relationship. It could be a family member, friend, whatever, but putting some sort of effort and work into that, making the decision to do it, to hold on to it. So I think you might have something that, I don't know if it's in any kind of trouble or if there's been a development or a change of some sort, but it's about making the effort to do some sort of, putting some time into it, maybe spending time together, maybe having a discussion, talking, that sort of thing, with somebody that is of importance to you in whatever way. Could be a soulmate of some sort. This is the preserve card. And the flower on here is the silver ghost. I love this deck. But anyways, that's what I got for you. You got 2 out of 3. I only pulled a 3 card because everything's so crazy over here right now. But 2 of the 3 cards were major arcana. So it's either a significant situation or someone that's significant to you, but that's the message that I got.
Okay, so Cheryl,
Moon at the bottom of the deck. So.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I was talking over you. Go ahead, Allyson.
No, I'm sorry. I piped in. My eye caught the moon's at the bottom of the deck. So it could be like something that hasn't been discussed, something, maybe one of you hasn't wanted to look at, or maybe it was something was just discovered or whatever. And it doesn't have to be so deep and mysterious, right? It's tarot, whatever. But that is absolutely what I'm getting with that, especially getting the preserve card out of the Oracle deck. All right, I'm done.
Okay, so Cheryl, what I get for you is I see a lot of nice things happening in November. Things that you've been working for and things you've been manifesting are gonna, some of those things, not all of them, some of those things are gonna come to fruition, and you'll be able to, you're going to notice that. You're going to look around going, oh, I've been waiting for this, or I've been looking forward to this. So there's a couple of things going on. Plus, November is, this year is an election month. It's also Thanksgiving. So, you're going to be working up towards that. And whatever you're doing this month, in your manifestations, it brings about resolutions. So, like I said, there's a few things, not everything, because I see some other things that are going on with you that are going to be more into December and maybe even January. But as long as you're open to this stuff and you've been putting things out there that you're working towards, I see a great resolution, and really a real positive thing for you. It's going to be real uplifting. And if things had been feeling a little uncomfortable, they're going to get comfortable. So just keep open to this. Allow these things to come through to you because they're really very good. And that's what I've got. I hope that helps. I don't know if that makes any sense or not, but I hope that helps.
Great.
So,
yeah.
Oh,
Cheryl
nice.
said, sounds really good, Cleo, and thanks, Allyson. So,
okay.
Great.
So now we're kind of, oh, there's one for artist Liz. All right. But there was somebody that said that, where is that? And I like this. Vice President Harris is taking the stage right now here in Erie. Erie, Pennsylvania. Is that where Erie's at? And let's send her some white light and love. Yes, everybody do that. I try to do that for her daily. I am really pushing for Kamala to be our next president. So I like that sentiment, and I hope everybody will do that. And let's see, did you have, oh, okay, for artist Liz. Okay, so for Colleen and Gerald, you've got artist Liz. Do you see if my life will be better in the new year, financial and health. And thank you. So what do you two see for artist Liz?
I can't see what ours is. Can you tell me?
Well, this was for Gerald and Colleen.
Right. What is ours that's next? Can you give me
Well,
so I can pull on it?
we don't have one yet.
Oh, we don't. Okay, thank you.
So, which basically is a good way to say if you've got a personal question, you'd like a reading on it, put it in caps in the chat.
Yes, because we got a lot of space here that we got another half hour. So bring your questions.
So, Liz, I'm seeing at the beginning, and I'm sorry nobody likes to hear that things are still going to be a little tough and a little disappointing in the beginning. But I am seeing the Three of Swords. But I am getting after that, you're going to get some more solidity with your finances. I'm going to say it's going to probably be in March or April, again, for entertainment purposes only. But there's this idea of you're going to start having the ability to control it in a new way, and you're going to be able to manage it quite nicely. It's going to help lead you to a new opportunities that are going to start showing up. And part of that also, it feels very much like the opportunities for you, not only financially, but also for health. You're going to be finding out some new information. There's going to be some research that you're going to discover that's going to be helpful. The thing I have to tell you, Liz, or listen to me. The thing I have to tell you, I encourage you to keep showing up and to keep doing your work. This is the Eight of Pentacles, which is the card of continuing to do your work, even small things, because those things will become much more natural for you. And then you'll be able to start being a bit more artistic with them and skilled. So that's what I have for you, artist Liz.
Wow, that sounds great.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about money first. So, yeah, in the beginning of the year, there will be some, you won't feel like you're in control at the beginning of the year. You're going to feel like everybody else is kind of making decisions for you or blocking you or telling you what to do. And you're going to feel a little bit, like you're not able to just be in control. I guess that's what I'm saying. But there will be an opportunity for you to break out of that fairly soon in the early part of the year. And I'm not going to put dates on it. It's kind of, how the energy goes. It rolls like waves, right? Once you get that feeling of this new input it could be like a new stream of income, it could be a new project, it could be a new job, it could be a new idea, it could be anything that affects your income as far as bringing more money in. That's once that happens, then you kind of tap into your higher self and you're like, let me manifest more of this. And then you feel in control. Then you start actually taking steps to be in control. And then you're quite effective at doing that. And it may not solve everything. You may still feel like there's never enough. I don't quite have enough to do what I need to do. But you're going to make it work because now you're in control. So now you're manifesting what you need and designing how you want things to go. And I think things start rolling then. I think you start to find maybe new streams of income or new ways of doing things. And I think also there's going to be a time for reflection on things and a little bit of self-judgment, like, why did I even get myself in that situation in the first place? And that's not a great place to put yourself. You need to kind of let that go, let that be in the past, because that's not going to help you move forward in a productive and prosperous way. So be careful of poverty thinking making you holding you back from all the good habits and practices that you're going to be doing in 2025. Now, for health, the first card that comes up for you is the sun, and then it's the Six of Cups. So you're going to feel like your old self. Now, there's going to be also a little bit of backsliding, but there always is. It is never just you walk through the door and the sun is out and you're in Oz. That only happens in the movies. When you're going through a recovery process, there's, you go forward and there's a little setback, and you go forward and there's a little setback, or you go forward a lot and there's just a tiny little setback. So you're moving forward in a lot of ways, but you also have to teach yourself how to handle the setbacks positively and how not to see them as total failure, but more as just a temporary setback. And now I'm moving on. And that's good. I see your comment that you're trying to stay positive. That's good. And the thing is that's really going to pay off, because you then get the star, and the star is telling me that you're, again, just like the money situation, your spiritual practices are coming into play, and you're starting to control your emotions in such a way that you are kind of surrendering to the universe while at the same time controlling how you react to things. So it's an interesting juxtaposition of those two things. There's a sense of being bound, of being controlled by circumstances, but there's also you controlling things. So you're going to do a little dance with those things for a while in 2025, but it's a process, and you don't have to get there in 24 hours. You just have to get there when you get there. Remember that you're perfect and you're in the perfect place for where you need to be spiritually right now. And everything that's happening around you can be used as a lesson to learn from and to grow and to gain in your perspective. So that's what I have. And I hope that helps, Liz.
Wow.
You're welcome, Liz.
Yeah, that was nice, you guys. Really good. So, Allyson, we have a question from Imimi Ni. What does next year have in store for me? And while you're working on that, I see we're not getting a whole bunch of personal questions happening here. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to open it up to political as well. I don't want to answer any questions about the wars or what's going on with Russia and Ukraine and in the Mideast. But if you stick to politics in the United States, since we're getting very close to an election, if you want to put in questions about that, please do. And right now, Allyson and I are going to read for Mimi Nee about what does next year have in store for her.
Gerald, let me know about that. And thank you, Gerald. I can go really quick if you want.
Go for it. Go for longer if you want.
Okay. No, I was just saying I'm going to go, and then I'm going to step away for 2 seconds. And thank you for sending me that. There's something here. Is it Mimi Nee?
Yes.
Mimi Nee. There's something here that you're that's of value to you that you're holding on to. There's some sort of need or desire to have to hold on to something, but there's going to be, and that's right now, but there's going to be a change to this, whatever this is. And the advice here is for you to allow this to happen. I would assume this would be in next year, because that's how I formed the question, because you're asking about, she asked for next year, right?
Yes.
Yeah, for next year. And just allow it to go through that transition. So again, there's just something here. It could be a situation, it could be a person. I don't know. I'm not getting into a bunch of clarifiers. This is something that's gonna, again, this is Four of Pentacles. So this is, I'm feeling like it's something personal. And I did get the emotions card from my Oracle deck. So it doesn't feel devastating or awful or anything like that. It's just something that you're dealing with, holding on to now that you are going to relinquish it. You might even just have to let go of it. The tower's here in the advice, but it doesn't feel heavy or bad. You know, sometimes it's just abrupt change. A lot of people get all freaked out about the tower, and this just doesn't have to be the case. So that's what I got.
Oh, wow. Okay. So, Mimi, I see something in the year ahead that has to do with your relationships. And it could be relationships with a spouse, or it could be a relationship with children, with family, with neighbors. But mainly, I'm thinking this is more with family. And you're just going to feel uplifted. There's just going to be an awful lot of loving energy there for things that, not that you guys take it for granted, but something comes up that makes you all come together a little bit closer next year. And maybe it could be just really close friends, but I just feel a whole lot of compassion coming into next year for you. And also, you're going to be receiving some financial gain. I don't know that one has, that has anything to do. The other thing is more on a heartfelt level. This is more on a financial level, that you're going to be receiving some money. I don't know if that's like, if you're working, if that's a raise in pay. I would say the money that's coming in, we're not talking millions, but you're talking enough that will make a difference, that will really help out, to have a little bit of extra money somewhere. And so I see that happening for you. All in all, next year is going to be it's going to be a growth year for you. And within those growths has a lot to do with your personal relationships with other, probably with other members of your family, or very, very close people that are very close to you. And it's really a nice time. I mean, 2025 looks great for you. So that's what I get. I hope I'm right, because it really feels good. So that's what I've got to say about that. And now for Gerald and Colleen, we do have a question here from Twillo Lifestyle Community. What does the rest of the year hold for Twillo?
And this is Tanis. So,
I'm sorry, Tanis?
Tanis, yes. I was just on a show with them.
Okay, so that's the person's name is Tanis?
Yes, that's the
Okay.
person's name, Tanis. So, Tanis, what I have for you is the rest of the year, it's going to give you great opportunity to show mastery of your emotions and the energies that your emotions will bring into you. I like this image here. We have somebody at the end of a pier, the King of Cups at the end of a pier, fishing. So what you put your emotions behind is what you're going to be pulling in to the rest of the year. This is also supported by the Six of Pentacles, which is reciprocity, give and take, and sharing. Then we have the Six of Wands, which is success. This is success in some of the things that are going on. This is also supported by the Four of Pentacles reversed, which says your money is actually going to be able to start flowing better instead of being hoarded. And then definitely toward the end of the year, we have the Knight of Swords. You're going to be taking some action, specifically with your thought processes or some projects that you're working on. You're going to be taking leaps and bounds with those. This is supported by the 10 of Swords. So the 10 of Swords, something is done. It really is done, because now you're picking up and you're walking away, and now you're doing something new with it. It's really quite powerful. So there you go.
Wow. That was
Okay.
such a great reading.
Yeah.
So, Tanis, what I have for you is that there is a period of working with a small group that is going to be very important for you. So that's going on. But then there comes a moment of truth, a moment where something comes out that is very true, and it may feel a little embarrassing to you, or it may feel like you have to defend yourself in some way. I don't see that this is any kind of a legal thing. I just think that there's an exposure of something that has happened that makes you feel a little bit like, oh, what do I do with this? Am I supposed to say something or defend it, or how do I do it? I would say don't do anything, but and just keep it to yourself until you're asked to say something. And then if you're asked to say something, then you can maybe explain yourself. When you do explain yourself, you'll feel much more confident, because you will have had time to take in the situation, to take in what has been going on and what other people have been observing or saying about the situation. And you won't have to give out any information that you don't want to give out. So I know that's kind of a very specific thing that's going on, but that's what I got.
Wow.
Yeah, surprise.
Yeah. Cool.
To unmute. I forgot to unmute myself. So actually we've covered everybody's questions, and nobody jumped on the opportunity to talk about politics. I think everybody's kind of tired of it and they're just a little bit stressed about what's coming up. But we've all been talking the same thing, that it's going to be Kamala Harris and Walz who will be in the White House. But if you don't want to talk about that, I'm good with that. Again, if anybody's got any questions for themselves or about anything, go ahead and put it up there and we'll try to answer it. In the meantime, maybe we should just do some general readings for anybody or everybody about what's going to happen, like between now and the end of the year. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah. A general would be helpful, I think.
Mhm.
Okay. So Allison's muted right now. Would you be
She's
up
just
to
getting
doing-
ready to do her reading for the collective.
Okay. All right. And whoever wants to go first, go ahead. We've got another question.
Two questions.
Two questions. Thank you, you guys are looking for something to read on.
Well, I'm going to actually say, one of the key things about to the rest of the year is there needs to be a lot of inspired divine feminine action. I have the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands, she's inspired. She needs to. So this is going to be something that is critical. But then we also have a Queen of Wands, and a King of Cups. So when you put fire and water together, you make steam. So the Queen is definitely much more active than the King is. The King is in contemplation. Toward the end of the year, I think everybody really does need to do some hermiting. This is the Hermit card. So this is really feeling, taking some time by yourself, getting to know how you're going to operate. So that's what I have for the collective.
Great. I like that. Colleen, do you have anything?
I'm not quite ready yet.
Okay. Allyson, did you want to
I do.
this? Go ahead.
I pulled, because it is Halloween time, I pulled from my, if I can find my damn guidebook. Oh, here it is. This is called the Horror Oracle. It's just kind of fun for like a basic question like that. And I did get an interesting answer. So this is a deck where it's just a bunch of horror movies, some very old, some more recent. And I pulled the fire card, which is actually, so there's a main keyword, but then there's a movie, and this is from Frankenstein. This is what the message is. It wasn't your decision to burn everything down. Misunderstanding, miscommunication, assumption of the worst, fear, ignorance. This is the kindling. And while it can take a village to really stack all of that up, once one person puts a torch to it, it'll all end in flames. Consider, though, that fire can also bring rebirth. An ash-nourished forest grows again and mark a new beginning. And the upright little message, there's an upright and a reverse, this came out upright, is let it all come down. Something new will arise. That's it.
Wow.
Good.
Nice.
Basically a message of rebirth. So
And
dramatic.
I like your cards.
Thank you.
Yeah,
They're
those
fun
are
for
cute.
Halloween.
Okay, Colleen, did you want to go?
Yeah. So for everybody, this is just kind of for the collective. There's new information coming that's going to be really, really surprising and very happy. So there's lots of really great new information coming. I got the Ace of Swords, the Princess of Cups, and the Nine of Cups. So things are coming up really, really well. There's going to be one person, and Cleo, I know you're going to love this. There's going to be one person in particular who's not super happy.
Is this political?
Oh, it wasn't meant to be.
It wasn't meant to be. I think it looks a little like Elon Musk, though. Anyway, could be anybody, could be any kind of billionaire you can think of. And then the final outcome is the Queen of Swords.
Wow. And again, that could be anybody as well.
That could be anybody as well, but we're all looking at truth and the sword of justice and a queen who is very much in her power, a queen who is, self-assured and ready to make decisions. And if you look in the background of the card, that couple is the lovers, indicating cooperation, trust, and union. Union. That's the word. Okay.
Wow.
Now, let me get it to
Nice.
again. Thank you. Cool, right? Yeah.
Were you done? Were you done?
Yeah, I'm done.
Yes. And, I got a lot of what Colleen was talking about, and I got a lot of what Gerald was talking about, and a little bit about what Allyson was talking about. Doesn't mean anybody's right or wrong, because this is just a general for out there. But I am feeling there's just between now and the end of the year, there's just going to be a shift, and I've been feeling it for a long time, and a shift in the right direction, a shift of more loving, more positive, more togetherness throughout for everybody. So once you get to that mellower stage, and we're not just, it just feels like things have been on edge, but they're going to get a lot better. I have a little bit of a bad thing about the climate. There's something going on with the climate that's not, well, we've already experienced some horrible hurricanes and bad weather down in the southern states and along the East Coast. And they're gonna get some more bad things happening there. And for the rest of the country, it's going to be your typical, November to me, in my thinking, in November is like one of the worst weather months anyway. But that we're going to see some stuff that we really haven't seen before. The extremes of weather. So kind of get prepared for that. That doesn't mean everybody's going to have flooding and hurricanes and tornadoes, but there might be a lot more rain than we wished for. And it's going to be, the next couple of months going to be crazy weather. But for just in your own life, things are looking really good, because there's going to be this feeling of togetherness and strength and optimism, very optimistic, between now and the end of the year. And I tell you, that carries on into 2025. So it's really, it's a good time, but there's some great stuff. And then, like I said, the weather is definitely a little bit cattywampus. So that's what I have for that. So we did come up with some more questions here. Here we go. So for Carolyn Wallace, will my home sell by 2025? And I'll let Gerald and Colleen take that one. And then before you go, Allyson, here's the question that you and I will be working on. How will we all be feeling by Christmas season? Okay. And let's go back to this question. So Gerald and Colleen, if you could read on that, appreciate it.
Okay.
Will my home sell by 2025?
All right. Wow. Okay. I got a yes. And you're going to have to make some careful judgment calls about whether or not you're going to do everything that they want you to do. But I actually got a straight up yes. Make sure that all of that, that what do you call it? The inspections, and you double check the contracts. But yeah, actually. So, and again, for entertainment purposes only, Carolyn, but I got a yes.
Yeah, I did too. It's a good contract. You're going to have a good contract, and you're going to make some money on it. It's going to be good financially for you. And you guys will have to work out and negotiate what is going to be done, what you're going to pay for, what they're going to just eat, and yeah, it's good. Good luck.
Yeah, cool.
Wow. Okay, so that was great, Carolyn. You're going to do well. So let's go to this question here for Allyson and I, from Anja Ashdown. How will we all be feeling by Christmas season? And if you would like.
Yep.
Go ahead.
I just pulled a couple cards on this. You're saying how will we all, I assume you mean like this community basically, and that's kind of vague. I don't know why we'd be feeling in just, I guess, in general. But there is a sense of working together on something that is unclear. And I do think it will get there. And I have the clarity card coming out, which is interesting. So I have 3 of Pentacles with the moon. And again, I tried to have more cards come out. This is all that came out. So I stopped. I'm not forcing anything. And then I pulled from my Oracle deck, I got clarity. And it's very interesting. And the moon is showing up here in this card as well. So it's probably in the world in general. They're in our country, right? And that'll be after this election. So not surprising. There'll probably be some whatever going on. But there will be a working together on figuring out whatever this is. And again, the outcome here is clarity. So whatever it is that needs to be looked into or worked on or whatever will, by Christmas, we will have that. So that's what I got.
Wow. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, so I feel like people are going to be worried too much about money. You know, they don't they're feeling like there's certain things they want to get for Christmas gifts, and certain things, you know, all the parties and all the things that are going on in December. Um, but there's a lot of fear about money. There's also some fear about jobs. Right now, we've got a lot of striking going on, and so that interferes with the money. So that without, you know, that one little part, if people can just know that, okay, you might have to not be able to spend what you'd like to spend on Christmas, but just to know that things are going to get better, but maybe not right now. And I know like inflation is actually improving and we're doing quite a bit better. And, but you know, I don't know if people are still noticing it at the grocery stores and stuff.
Yeah, it's bad.
Yeah, so it's still bad. But besides that, though, I mean, the month of December is actually going to be, how can I say, you know, although we're all concerned about money, other things come up. I mean, there is good cheer. There is, you know, this sense of coming together, and you know, you're going to enjoy decorating the house, and maybe, you know, if you wanted to give a whole slew of gifts, you're going to give a little bit less. If you wanted to have huge, big dinners and stuff, you might be backing off of that a little bit. But it is going to get better. But I think that the Christmas season, even though, you know, it's like we've dealt with stuff, we've been dealing with inflation for a long time now, and we still get through it, and we don't have to make it the focus of the holiday season. But there will be, you know, in the back of your mind, you're thinking, wow, I just don't, you know, we used to be able to do this and this and this, and now we're just not being able to. The money situation is bothering people a lot. And I guarantee that we'll be past the election by that time, and whoever she is that is going to be the next president, she is going to help us all with this inflation, with the price of groceries, with the price of healthcare, everything. So things are going to get better, but you probably won't feel it in the month of December. That's too soon. I mean, it's going to take time. So I see it actually a really nice Christmas season, but just not the kind that some people were hoping for. And yeah, that sounds kind of negative, but I don't mean it to be. It's just that there is, you know, the reality is, you know, people are concerned about paying rent and keeping a roof over their head, and so their Christmas may not be quite as festive as they want it to be, but I think the heartfelt messages are still there, and we know, you know, that we're just taking steps in a better direction, and that will happen. So it's not going to be terrible, just going to be different. So we'll all have a Merry Christmas one way or the other. That's what I've got to say about that. So we're into this an hour and 3 minutes. Do we want to keep doing something here, or is this about the end of the show for us?
I think it's about the end for me. It's a school night.
Yep. I haven't
Okay.
had dinner yet, so
All right. Okay. So this was an experience for me, since I didn't know how to do half of it.
You did fine.
You know, and we
Good practice.
well, yeah, well, first time, you know, I'm bound. Just about everything I've done on YouTube, when I do it the first time, I don't do it all that well, but I learned a lot, and I think next time it'll be different. Um, and so anyway, I've never really hosted a show quite like this one, and I kind of I really like doing it, but I'm a little embarrassed by some of the stuff I did, because I did kind of screw up. But anyway, I want to thank Gerald and Colleen and Allyson for joining me today on Mystic 4. Is one of my favorite shows, and we'll be back in the second week of November.
Mm-hmm.
And then Val will be back from vacation, and we'll do a bunch of readings. So if you've kind of been, we used to do this show twice a month. Now it's kind of more like once a month. So keep your eyes peeled. We'll be back. And thanks again, everybody. And thanks for everybody that came and put up questions and made comments. And I really, really appreciate it. And we'll see you next month.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.